What's going on, my super fam? Okay, so today we have a video dedicated to Clorinde's best team build. I do apologize that this video is quite late because I did, have a bit of family matter to attend to. But all the while we are here and I'm still going to be making this video, for future preferences, even if you've already, know a bit about Clorinde teams. Hopefully this video also is going to be helping you in terms of, understand more about Clorinde teams as a whole. Because yes, she is a very fun character. I would just have to say as a Kuching main, even though I love Kuching, I would say that newly added Clorinde to be a hyper carry for an electro, element is a pretty fun thing to have. And so with that, let's just have a look. Now guys, if you've been watching some of my video, you know that I've been recommending you guys loot bar for around 3 times before, and I believe that it worked pretty well for you guys. So if you don't know what loot bar is, they actually help you to top up Primogems with very safe and secure transactions while having lower pricing discount and a very much a trustworthy service with over 100,000 orders, with the majority of the reviews being 5 stars. So check out loot bar through the link in my description guys if you usually top up, as it is a very good way to get Primogems with lower pricing. So first, and I would say one of the best team for her right now is definitely going to be Aggravate. However, it's not going to be a double Dendro element of an Aggravate team, but we're going to be having Kazuya into this team alongside with Nahida, as well as Fischl being here. Now, one of the really good thing about Clorinde is that she is a character that can technically sustain herself. After you use her E skill, once you've charged up for Bond of Life, yes, she is going to be able to heal herself. Therefore, technically speaking, she is the very first electro hyper carry to be on the team without needing a healer, which is very handy because considering Aggravate team is a team that kind of demand you to have very specific healer at this point in time, right? For example, a character like Baiju, right? Yao Yao, those characters are going to be usually in the 4th slot of the Aggravate team. However, those characters actually doesn't really help boost your character damage much, but more like going to be purely supporting in terms of healing only. Even if you want to use like healers such as for Anemo element, right? Such as character like Jean, or even Sayu sometimes, those characters cannot ever be as good as having a Kazuya on your team. Therefore, Clorinde will be the first character to actually utilize fully an Aggravate team alongside with Kazuya, which is a perfect situation for her to be in. Make her, kind of have a slight advantage over, the other electro hyper carry out there that purely focuses on Aggravate team to shine, like Kuching or Sino at this point in time. Next team, we have a very interesting team, which is going to be more like a Hyper Bloom team for Clorinde. Now, even though Clorinde isn't the best character to be triggering Hyper Bloom herself, however, it's not that hard. Well, because her shots sometimes does hit the core itself, and obviously once you use your E skill again for a sword strike, yes, that actually triggers the core as well. Now obviously the core has to be in the direction that you're triggering her sword, but overall she's not going to be as bad as a Hyper Bloom triggerer compared to other electro characters. So Hyper Bloom team for Clorinde is actually pretty good, especially when you have a very invested Hyper Bloom team, like Furina, Baiju over here, Nahida as well. Obviously you can also use character like Xingqiu and obviously Yao Yao to be here, and that still be a very good Hyper Bloom team. But obviously, if you want a maximum good Hyper Bloom team, then yeah, the 5-star character on this team is undeniably good, and it is going to be a bit of an investment for you. But I'm pretty sure most of you do have Rina here, so she obviously going to be act as the replacement for Kazuya in this team compared to Aggravate, but also she does help you apply Hydro applications and therefore Hyper Bloom triggering as well for the whole team. Yes, Furina is just absolutely an amazing character, guys. I can't deny that. And obviously, Baizu here for you to heal, a bit of shielding for Clorinde as well, which is pretty good. And obviously, he is here to help you heal your whole team because, yeah, that Furina actually sap your whole team HP quite a lot. So Baiju is definitely a pretty important character. Next team is going to be a Chevreuse Overload team. Now, I don't have Chevreuse here on this specific account to actually demonstrate to you, but I'm just going to do a quick showcase in terms of, the tutorial for Clorinde because, yeah, they do give you a Chevreuse team, which is pretty nice. Now, obviously, you can switch out Thoma with Xiangling and they will still do well. And in many cases, I do prefer having Xiangling in terms of Thoma here because obviously Xiangling does help you do a lot more damage. The good thing about Thoma is he does provide you a shield, so it definitely will help Clorinde to tank hit here and there, especially if you're going into the later floor of the Abyss where enemies does hit you like a truck. But overall, this is a very easy team to play, guys, right? Chevreuse is an amazing character that's been added and then therefore making Overload team a lot more accessible in terms of playstyle and very free to play friendly too, right? I'm pretty sure as long as you have Chevreuse, you can build a free to play team with Overload and Clorinde being on it. And yes, this team does absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it's not the best team compared to Aggravate, but it does deal damage and does work for Clorinde. So yes, just use it with her and you will see result nonetheless. Fourth team, we have a pretty interesting team of Clorinde Hyper Carry. Now, I do have mixed feeling about this team. Obviously, it is the team that provides Clorinde the best ability to deal insanely high damage, but on paper it does looks pretty nice. However, you know, in order for you to get perfect rotation for this team, it's actually pretty hard, and this team does require you to have a lot of investment into your character. You know, Sarah, technically speaking, it is advisable that you have her at C6 because that's when, you know, it's easiest for you to use Sarah. Now obviously you can use her pre-C6 and it still works really well, but overall I only recommend you to use this team if you have Sarah at C6 because it's easier and more beneficial for you to use this team rather than an Aggravate team if you know how to do rotation very well. But more importantly, guys, the downside of this team as well is that it's not the best team for you to use in AoE situation, or you know, the situation where there are lots of enemies on field where you can't really group them all together. Obviously Kazuya can help you grouping a little bit, but obviously he's not going to be there all the time to help you group, and sometimes enemies can't be grouped together as well, so it's really hard for you to deal with those kind of situations. However, if you're in a situation where you are on a single target boss, then yes, this team is absolutely going to destroy it. Very easy to play once you hit a single target floor. So yeah, a very powerful team, but more or less going to be in a situation that is favorable for this team for you to actually pull the best potential of this team. Now, in terms of rotation wise, generally it will depend on the situation you're in, but the best rotations usually you are going to be find yourself into is going to be Bennett EQ to Kazuya's casting his EQ, to Sarah casting her E, assuming she is at C6, and then switch to Clorinde where she will get Sarah's buff to start doing her rotations. Fifth team, we have a very basic, you know, national team for kind of like, you know, electro character. This team is kind of like a Raiden national, usually you say it, but Clorinde works on it very well because yeah, you have Bennett, Yelan, or Xingqiu if you don't have Yelan, and Xiangling. Very easy team for you to be playing Clorinde in, and she does it very well. I don't think I have to talk a lot about this team because assuming you have Raiden Shogun on your account, if you already tested her out before, then yes, you will have a Raiden national team, so Clorinde should perform similar. But this team I always recommend on my team build video because yeah, it is a very free to play friendly team. Every account has access to it, and one of the most powerful teams in Genshin. So yes, if you don't really have any other option, go with this team, but otherwise, if you already have Nahida, you know, Dendro character that is good on your account, go ahead and use Aggravate teams. It's going to be the best team, but overall, I would say that Clorinde does have, you know, a lot of team options for her to play. I do feel that she has a few other teams that you can be using, but these I feel are some of the top teams that you can run in at this point in time, depending on your account situation and how much you have already got invested onto your characters. So if you do have any other team comps, guys, just feel free to leave it down in the comment sections. I always love to discuss team comps with you guys there. The video did help you out. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new, as I post a lot of Genshin guides on this channel. And if you're playing Wuthering Waves as well as Honkai Star Rail, I do have you covered on that as well. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me to this part of the video, guys. With that, I wish you a super day, and I'll catch you on my next video.